Welcome to IELTS Speaking Part 2, Methods. In this lesson, we'll talk about some methods to help you succeed in this part of the test. First, I'm going to review Speaking Part 2 and explain the different parts of Speaking Part 2. We'll talk about making notes and structuring your talk, and I'll give you some help with expanding your ideas. Remember that Part 2 is a short presentation. You're asked to talk for 1 to 2 minutes on a familiar topic, and the examiner will give you a task card, pen, and a paper, and 1 minute to prepare your response. Then they'll ask you for 1 to 2 minutes to speak continuously about this topic. So what does it look like? Well, here is a typical Part 2 topic card. Notice that there are 5 points on this card. Let's go through it. Describe a time when you helped someone. You should say, second point, who you helped and why, how you helped this person, what the result was, and explain how you felt about helping this person. Now, these points are just designed to help you speak for 2 minutes comfortably. If you miss a point, it's no problem. And if you decide to add some extra information, it's also no problem. The card is just there to help you speak for 2 minutes on your topic. So what do you need to do in this part? Well, you have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. And in fact, you should be aiming for 2 minutes. When you get the task card, you have 1 minute to make some notes or just think about what you're going to say. You should use this time to write down keywords and always aim to include information about the past, present, and future. We call this the PPF method. This will help you to structure your talk and reach 2 minutes. Let's talk about making notes. If you don't make notes in the test, it's completely fine, but the examiner will give you a pen and paper and you have 1 minute. So it's a good chance to write down some keywords. Don't worry about writing full sentences. Here are my notes for this topic. Who you helped and why. I'm going to talk about an elderly lady I helped at the shops. She was struggling with her bags. How you helped this person. Well, I carried her bags to her car and I went back and got some extra shopping for her. What the result was, we became friends and we have coffee these days. How I felt, I was really pleased and I hope that someone would do the same for my grandma. Let's use these notes and look now at structuring the talk. It's a good idea to start with the same sentence every time just to settle your nerves. I'm going to tell you about whatever your topic is. In this case, I'm going to tell you about a time I helped someone. And then you can simply move through the task card, spending a little time on each point. You can be creative here. Feel free to embellish or add extra information or extra drama to your story. And also think about moving through the tenses as well. Most of your story will be set in the past, but can you also include information about the present and the future? Expanding your ideas. To ensure that you reach the 2 minute goal, you can expand your ideas with details. Ask yourself who, what, where, when, why, how, in order to stretch out your answers. In this case, who you helped and why, you could answer questions like, who was it? What did they look like? What were they doing? Where were you? How you helped this person, you can expand on this by explaining how you helped and what the person said, who else was there. To expand on what the result was, what happened next? How did the person feel? And explain how you felt. How did you feel? When will you see them again? Let's talk a little about the PPF method. On test day, just keep talking until the 2 minutes is up. The examiner will say thank you to let you know you've reached the end. Let's have a look at the PPF method in action. Here's my task card about a time I helped someone, and here's part of my 2-minute speech. I've highlighted the past tense verbs here. I'm going to tell you about a time when I helped someone. This happened a couple of weeks ago when I was at the local supermarket. I'd just finished my own shopping. Notice the past perfect there. I had just finished my own shopping and was walking out to my car when I saw this little old lady. She looked about 80. Actually, I found out later that she's 93. Anyway, she was carrying 4 bags of shopping and she was barely moving. They were so heavy. Lots of people just walked past her without offering to help, so I decided I'd better step up. Notice all the different past tenses I've used there. From here, I want to get into talking about the present. Once I'd helped her load up her car and grabbed her some extra things she'd forgotten too, she asked me for my phone number. I thought it was so odd, but I gave it to her, and I'm glad I did because she called me to thank me and invited me over for tea. And now, actually, we catch up quite regularly. It turns out she lives just around the corner and she doesn't have any family nearby. From here, I want to get into the future. I'm so pleased I stopped to help her that day. I have a grandma about her age, and I'd like to think someone would help her if she needed it. And in the future, I'll be an old lady like that too, hauling my shopping across the car park. And I hope someone will offer to help me as well. So there you have it. There are lots of different ways to structure your talk and to expand on what you want to say. Just keep going until the 2 minutes is up. And remember these few things as well. It's okay to make mistakes. Don't panic if you say something that's grammatically wrong or you mispronounce a word. You can just correct yourself and keep moving. Don't rush this section. It's okay to breathe and pause, and you can look at the task card and your notes throughout the 2 minutes. Remember, it is not a race. And lastly, elaborate, embellish. You don't have to tell the truth, and feel free to add color, add details. All of this will make your part 2 talk much more interesting for the listener. Be sure to watch our simulation video next to see speaking part 2 in action. After the simulation video, you can complete a practice recording, and then you can practice with the interview simulation. Good luck and happy studying!